In the heart of the boundless blue, where sunlight surrendered to the embrace of the deep, nestled the kingdom of Aquaria. A city of coral spires and luminescent pathways, it was a sanctuary of merfolk, their laughter echoing through the kelp forests. Yet a shadow had fallen upon this underwater paradise. The sacred pearl of depths, the source of Aquaria's magic and life force, had vanished. Seraphina, a young mermaid warrior, stood before King Nereus, her heart heavy with the weight of her upcoming mission. Her crimson scales shimmered in the bioluminescent glow of the throne room, her sapphire eyes reflecting the king's somber gaze. "Seraphina," Nereus began, his voice deep and resonant, "the fate of Aquaria rests on your fins. You must retrieve the pearl of depths." Seraphina bowed her head in acknowledgement. "I will not fail you, my king." Beside her, Coralia, her loyal seahorse companion, nudged her side with his snout, a gesture of silent encouragement. As Seraphina ventured beyond the city walls, the ocean enveloped her, its depths whispering secrets of the stolen pearl. The whispers led her to the trenches of shadows, a region known for its treacherous currents and lurking predators. Coralia swam beside her, his bioluminescent stripes illuminating their path. Their journey was fraught with peril. They encountered ravenous anglerfish, their bioluminescent lures tempting them into their razor-sharp jaws. They outmaneuvered schools of barracudas, their silvery bodies flashing like daggers in the murky depths. Yet Seraphina remained undeterred, her determination fueled by her love for Aquaria. After days of navigating the trenches of shadows, they stumbled upon a hidden grotto. Its entrance was guarded by a colossal kraken, its tentacles adorned with venomous spines. Seraphina approached cautiously, her hand outstretched in a gesture of peace. "Mighty Kael," she addressed the kraken, her voice echoing through the grotto, "I seek the pearl of depth. I beseech you to grant me passage." The kraken stirred, its eyes, as large as moons, fixing upon Seraphina. A deep rumble resonated from its massive form, a sound that shook the very foundation of the grotto. "You are brave, little mermaid," Kael boomed, his voice like the grinding of tectonic plates. "But bravery alone will not suffice. What do you offer in return for my aid?" Seraphina paused, her mind racing. She had nothing of material value to offer the kraken. Yet she knew that the fate of Aquaria depended on her ability to secure his cooperation. "I offer my word," she declared, her voice unwavering. "I vow to aid you in any way I can, should you ever require my assistance." Kael considered her offer, his eyes narrowing. After a moment, a low chuckle rumbled from his throat. "Very well, little mermaid. I will grant you passage, but be warned, the path ahead is fraught with danger. The sirens of the abyssal reef are cunning and ruthless. They will stop at nothing to protect the pearl of depths." Seraphina thanked Kael, her voice filled with gratitude. With a flick of his massive tail, the kraken cleared the path, the entrance to the abyssal reef shimmering before them. As they ventured into the reef, a symphony of enchanting melodies filled the water. These were the songs of the sirens, their voices laced with a magic that could lure even the strongest willed creatures to their doom. Coralia, ever vigilant, nudged Seraphina, his bioluminescent stripes flashing a warning. Seraphina nodded, her grip tightening on her trident. They swam closer to the source of the music, their movements cautious and deliberate. Soon they came upon a mesmerizing sight, a group of sirens, their tails shimmering like opals, their voices weaving a tapestry of enchanting melodies. The sirens noticed Seraphina and Coralia, their songs shifting to a more alluring tone. Seraphina felt a pull, a desire to swim towards the sirens and lose herself in their music. She closed her eyes, her fins instinctively propelling her forward. But then a sharp tug on her arm jolted her back to reality. Coralia, sensing the danger, had wrapped his tail around her wrist, pulling her away from the sirens. Seraphina opened her eyes, her heart pounding in her chest. She had almost succumbed to the siren's spell. With renewed determination, Seraphina swam past the sirens, her ears filled with their haunting melodies. The path through the abyssal reef was treacherous, filled with hidden tunnels and sharp coral formations. Yet Seraphina navigated the maze with unwavering focus, her eyes fixed on the faint glow emanating from the heart of the reef. The glow intensified as they approached a cavern, its walls adorned with shimmering pearls. In the center of the cavern, resting on a pedestal of coral, was the Pearl of Depths. Its luminescence filled the cavern, casting an ethereal glow on everything it touched. Seraphina swam towards the pearl, her heart filled with hope. But as she reached out to touch it, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a siren, her eyes glowing with an eerie light, her voice dripping with venom. "You dare trespass into our domain," the siren hissed, her voice echoing through the cavern. "The Pearl of Depths belongs to us." Seraphina met the siren's gaze, her voice unwavering. "The Pearl of Depths does not belong to you," she retorted. "It belongs to Aquaria, and I have come to reclaim it." The siren sneered, her tail lashing angrily. "You are a fool, mermaid," she spat. "You cannot defeat me. My song will ensnare your soul, and you will become my eternal slave." With a flick of her wrist, the siren unleashed a torrent of enchanting melodies. The music swirled around Seraphina, its tendrils attempting to ensnare her mind. Seraphina felt herself weakening, her limbs growing heavy. But then she remembered the words of Kael the kraken. He had warned her of the siren's cunning and ruthlessness. Seraphina closed her eyes, focusing on the rhythm of her own heartbeat. She recalled the teachings of her elders, the ancient mermaid songs of protection and resilience. With a deep breath, she began to sing. Her voice, though soft, resonated with a power that countered the siren's magic. The two melodies clashed, creating a vortex of sound that shook the cavern. The siren faltered, her song wavering as Seraphina's grew stronger. Coralia, sensing the shift in power, charged at the siren, his bioluminescent stripes flashing like lightning. The siren, startled by the sudden attack, lost her concentration. Her song dissipated, leaving her vulnerable. Seraphina seized the opportunity, her trident flashing as she lunged towards the siren. The siren, caught off guard, was unable to dodge the attack. Seraphina's trident struck her chest, sending a shockwave of energy through the cavern. The siren let out a piercing shriek as she vanished into a cloud of shimmering dust. The cavern fell silent, the only sound the gentle lapping of water against the coral walls. Seraphina swam towards the Pearl of Depths, her heart filled with reverence. She carefully lifted the pearl from its pedestal, its luminescence illuminating her face. The pearl pulsed with a warm, radiant energy. It was as if the heart of Aquaria beat within it. Seraphina held it close, feeling a surge of power and purpose. She knew that with the Pearl of Depths, she could restore her kingdom to its former glory. As she turned to leave, she heard a faint rustling sound. From a crevice in the cavern wall, a small, scared-looking eel peeked out. It was a messenger eel, its skin adorned with intricate markings. "Please," the eel squeaked, "help us." Seraphina approached the eel, her voice gentle. "What is it, little one? Who needs help?" The eel explained that a group of siren hatchlings had been trapped in a collapsed tunnel during the battle. They were too young and weak to escape on their own. Seraphina hesitated. The sirens had tried to harm her, to steal the Pearl of Depths. But these were just hatchlings, innocent victims of circumstance. "We cannot leave them to die," Coralia chimed in, his voice filled with empathy. Seraphina nodded in agreement. "Lead the way, little eel," she said. "We will help your friends." The eel led them to the collapsed tunnel, its entrance blocked by a massive boulder. Seraphina, with the Pearl of Depths in hand, channeled its energy into her trident. A surge of power coursed through her, and with a mighty heave, she lifted the boulder, clearing the path. Inside the tunnel, they found a group of frightened siren hatchlings, their tails tangled in seaweed. Seraphina and Coralia carefully freed them, their hearts warming at the sight of the relieved hatchlings. "Thank you," one of the hatchlings chirped, its voice filled with gratitude. "You saved our lives." Seraphina smiled. "It was our pleasure," she replied. "Remember, not all sirens are like the one who tried to harm us. There is good and bad in everyone." The hatchlings nodded, their eyes filled with understanding. They thanked Seraphina and Coralia again before swimming off, their voices echoing through the tunnel. Seraphina and Coralia emerged from the tunnel, the Pearl of Depths glowing brightly in Seraphina's grasp. They made their way back through the abyssal reef, the sirens' melodies replaced by the gentle hum of the ocean. As they passed through the trenches of shadows, Kael the kraken appeared, his massive form blocking their path. "You have succeeded, little mermaid," Kael boomed, his voice echoing through the water. "The pearl of depths is yours." Seraphina bowed her head in gratitude. "Thank you, Kael," she said. "I could not have done it without your help." Kael nodded. "And remember your vow, little mermaid," he reminded her. "Should I ever require your assistance, I will call upon you." Seraphina assured him that she would honor her word, and with a final farewell, she and Coralia continued their journey back to Aquaria. As they approached the city, the merfolk erupted in cheers. King Nereus swam forward to greet them, his face beaming with pride. Seraphina presented him with the Pearl of Depths, its luminescence filling the throne room. With the return of the pearl, Aquaria's magic was restored. The coral spires pulsed with renewed life, the luminescent pathways glowed brighter than ever before. The merfolk celebrated, their laughter and music echoing through the kelp forests. Seraphina, however, sought solitude. She swam to her favorite grotto, the Pearl of Depths cradled in her hands. As she gazed at the pearl, she saw visions of her past, memories that had been locked away. She saw her mother, Queen Oceana, smiling down at her, her eyes filled with love. She saw herself as a young mermaid, playing in the kelp forests with her friends. And then she saw something else. A vision of a dark figure, its eyes burning with hatred, its hands reaching for the Pearl of Depths. The figure was shrouded in shadow, its identity a mystery. Seraphina gasped, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew then that her quest was not over. The Pearl of Depths had been stolen once, and it could be stolen again. She had to protect it, to uncover the identity of the dark figure and stop them from plunging Aquaria into darkness once more. Seraphina confided in King Nereus about her vision, her voice trembling with a newfound resolve. Nereus, a seasoned ruler, listened intently, his brow furrowed with concern. He shared ancient texts detailing the legend of the abyssal shadow, a malevolent entity said to covet the Pearl of Depths. Fueled by the urgency of this revelation, Seraphina embarked on another quest, this time delving into the forgotten archives of Aquaria. Coralia, her steadfast companion, was once again by her side, their bond deepened by shared trials. They unearthed cryptic scrolls and deciphered enigmatic murals, slowly piecing together the puzzle of the abyssal shadow. Their investigation led them to the Well of Echoes, an ancient underwater cavern rumored to hold the secrets of Aquaria's past. As they descended into the depths of the well, the water grew colder, the darkness more oppressive. Yet Seraphina pressed on, her determination unwavering. In the heart of the cavern, they found a shimmering pool of water, its surface reflecting the swirling patterns of the cosmos. As Seraphina gazed into the pool, the abyssal shadow materialized, its form no longer shrouded in mystery. It was Seraphina's twin sister, Seraphine, consumed by envy and resentment. A fierce battle ensued, a clash of magic and wills. Seraphina, empowered by the love for her kingdom and the wisdom of her ancestors, fought valiantly. Coralia, with his lightning-fast strikes and unwavering loyalty, proved an invaluable ally. The struggle raged, the fate of Aquaria hanging in the balance. But in the end, it was Seraphina's compassion that turned the tide. She reached out to her sister, not with her trident, but with words of understanding and forgiveness. Seraphine, caught off guard by this unexpected gesture, faltered. The darkness that had consumed her wavered, revealing a flicker of remorse. With a final surge of power, Seraphina channeled the energy of the Pearl of Depths into her sister, not to harm, but to heal. The dark magic that had corrupted Seraphine dissipated, replaced by the warmth of sisterly love. Together, the sisters returned to Aquaria, not as enemies, but as allies. The kingdom rejoiced at the return of their princesses, their bond a symbol of hope and unity. The Pearl of Depths, now even more radiant, was placed in a new sanctuary, guarded not by magic, but by the love of two sisters who had overcome darkness and found redemption. The whispers of the abyss had been silenced, replaced by the harmonious symphony of a kingdom united, a testament to the enduring spirit of Aquaria.